Hey there, my name is Dayton Devet, and I'm here today to talk to you about computers. You ever wondered how they work? Well, it's something I definitely have, and I guarantee you that this morning you woke up to something that had a computer in it, or, just like I'm making this video, you're using a computer right now to watch it. So, today let's talk about computers, and let's dive right in. Okay, so, I'm sure you, just like myself, have always been fascinated by computers in the digital realm. The thought of nearly any idea coming to life simply waiting for you at your fingertips is astounding when it comes to computers. From your phone, to your smartwatch, to even something as small as a calculator, computers are literally everywhere, along with their components and the inner workings of them. So, have you ever wondered how they work? I think to understand that, the best way to do that is to understand the three key details. What is the CPU? How does it function? What does the storage and memory do, and what are their differences? And then, what are the parts of the computer that all work together to create anything and everything you can imagine? Well, to start, what is the processor? The processor, or a processor to be exact, is this, or this. All processors look about the same, and there's tons of them on a computer. But the most important processor, the brain of the operation, is the CPU. This stands for Central Processing Unit, and this guy is the boss. Simply put, the CPU takes electricity, turns it into data/instructions, figures out what to do, and then tells the rest of the computer where to go from there. If you're interested, ARM Computer Processing Company has a great paper explaining how these processors work. To keep things simple, the CPU in any device follows a system called the fetch, decode, execute cycle. And it does this extremely fast, like billions of calculations in seconds. In simple terms, the cycle grabs the instructions, figures out what it is, and then does it or tells the rest of the computer what to do. But the CPU isn't doing all this alone. It needs memory and storage to help create a good system. Which leads us to our next topic. What is memory and storage, and what are their differences? To start, what exactly is RAM? No, not the truck model or type of sheep. Instead, RAM is a memory type and a physical component used by a computer, and it stands for random access memory. Every computer uses it, and without RAM, a computer would be unable to function. Think of RAM as your short-term memory. It helps the system and the CPU remember what it's doing while it's doing it. Again, for a more detailed explanation, I would suggest reading Geeks for Geeks article on how RAM and other memory types work. Now, another type of memory that helps the CPU and system is cache. Cache is not a physical component, but rather a small part of the CPU, and it's even faster than RAM, but not nearly as powerful. It keeps extremely small and simple information close to the CPU, so the CPU can load tasks faster. The purpose of both is that RAM does the heavy lifting, while cache makes it easier for the CPU to handle that heavy lifting. Storage. Storage is different than memory. Memory helps the CPU perform tasks for the rest of the computer, but storage is like the big closet that stores files. Programs, games, pictures, anything that you create on your computer is sent to storage, along with anything your computer creates in order to run a complete system. Storage consists of physical components like the solid-state drive, SSD for short, or the hard drive, HDD for short. These can be an internal part of the computer or external part, being able to be removed and swapped between different computers. Finally, we come to the last key detail. What are the additional other parts of a computer that work together with the CPU, storage, and memory to create an entire system? Well, these parts include internal components similar to the CPU and RAM, along with external components. The internal parts include the motherboard and GPU, and the external parts include our monitors, keyboard and mouse, speakers, and other external devices that allow us, as the users, to manipulate and control the entire system. To start, the motherboard, besides the CPU, is one of the most important parts of a computer. Motherboards come in all shapes and sizes, but their main goal is to connect all the parts of a computer together. Think of the components like the CPU, memory, and GPU as the buildings, and the motherboard as the roads that connect them all and send further information from each back and forth to one another. All functions from each component goes through the motherboard first. Then, there's the next component, the graphics processing unit, or GPU for short. This device takes care of all the visuals. What you see as a user when you computer. Some computers have the function of the GPU built directly into the CPU, but computers that want a powerful CPU and better visuals usually have a separate CPU and GPU. The GPU is similar to the CPU, but it takes a lot of the pressure off of the CPU, and ultimately makes the computer run faster when playing video games or doing strenuous tasks. Last but not least, our keyboards, mouse, monitors, and those other devices. These allow us as the user to control the rest of the computer. These devices are plugged directly into the computer, and they allow us to control storage, what the screen looks like, and what we see while we use the computer. We do this all by using the mouse and keyboard to start and run programs, video games, manage files, and all the other things that they require. These devices let us tell the computer to do or create anything we can imagine. So yeah, computers are kind of amazing. It's a whole little world of moving parts, tiny switches, and teamwork, all happening at light speed, working together to achieve your results and whatever you desire. But thank you for watching. Hope I was able to teach you something today. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be a computer genius.